Hey everyone, what is going on? Today's video, I'm going over something that I bet a lot of people have overlooked. A maintenance item that I bet a lot of people have overlooked. Like 90%, I can guarantee, aren't sure exactly what I'm talking about yet. I bet there's even mechanics that have overlooked this wear item. If you know what it is, stop the video, leave a comment below. It's bolts. You might be thinking, how do bolts wear? You know, you got bolts like this on your strut tire. They just hold stuff in. How do they wear? I'm not talking about those ones. I'm not talking about wheel studs or even ones like this. I'm talking about bolts that move. Like this one, lower control arm bolts. These ones here. So I'm going to show you exactly how these wear. So because they sit in the car like this, and say you have something that rotates on it. Well, look at that. That bolt sits in there pretty nicely, and then this would pivot up and down. So over time, you have a metal inner bushing on a metal shank of a bolt. So that's going to wear down. You might be thinking, it's not that much. Well, I'm going to show you. So, got this bolt here, as you can see, that just barely goes over it. Let me measure it here real quick and be a little bit more thought out in this approach. So, as you can see, we'll mark it right here. That bolt is roughly ½ inch, just slightly over. Yep, there we go. See that? Just slightly over ½ inch. So this is a brand new bolt for a lower control arm on my car. This one, 100,000 miles on it. And I don't know if you can see that. Let me get some better light. Focus. Come on, focus. See that? You can see where the shank has worn down. And we're going to show you how much that is. Well, see up here, it's the same as the new bolt, but down here, look how much more open that is. So we're going to close this down a little bit until this just barely slips over. Tighter. I wish I had the proper measuring device for this. And then we'll go back to the measuring tape. And that is exactly ½ inch. So we've lost that tiny bit. You might think that's not big of a deal. But you go and put it into this bushing that's brand new. Look at how much that moves. And this is where you're going to have your problem, because you can go replace upper, lower control arm, trailing arm, something like that. And if your shank on your old bolt is worn, you're going to have problems with your alignment. I mean, look how much that moves. And you might be thinking, that's not a lot. But then when this whole thing's bolted to a car, and then, this whole arm is pivoting that much. The longer it is, it's going to affect it more. So you're going to have clunking, you're going to have vibration, you're going to have alignment issues all over probably a few dollar grade 10 bolt. So that's just something that even I didn't know until I started doing my lower control arms, and I noticed that the shank was worn. And then sure enough, when I got the new one, we know that this one is just over that. Look, that won't even go over it now. So it may only be a millimeter or two difference, but that will really mess it up. So just a real quick tip. you're doing suspension stuff, order new bolts. Spend, like for the whole lower control arm setup on this car, for the bolts and nuts, it was like $60 shipped. Some of it was straight from factory, some of it was just offline. Like the vertical bolts that I'm showing you now, I think there were $20 for 3 of them shipped to my door. You can probably find cheaper ones depending on your car, but still, if you're spending all this money to put either performance parts in your car, just regular maintenance, spend a little bit extra so that way you're not running through tires, you're hearing clunking, getting frustrated with all the new parts you just put in. A little tip. So, hope you guys like this little video. Hopefully, I learned something when I found this out myself. Thought I'd share it with you guys. So, hope you like this little video. Like and subscribe. Till next time.